Hey guys, it's Vornskyr here, and today we're playing Banished. This is a new city building game. It's an indie game. It's about $20 on Steam. Made by one guy, as far as I understand. But so let's just get straight into it. Let's start a new city. The procedurally generated maps, so it should be, fairly different at the same time, unless you use the same seed, obviously. Town name here. There's the seed there. You can choose a couple different types of terrains, valleys or mountains. Hopefully they'll add more in. I mean, only having two seems a little bit limited, but the game has only just come out, so we'll see what happens. Different size terrains. I'm going to stick with small, because even small is pretty big. Climate, mild, fair, harsh. I'll keep that on fair. Disasters, on or off. And starting conditions, hard, medium or easy. So, moderate game, which I guess... yeah, moderate is medium. So moderate games, you get 5 families, clothing, food, firewood, tools, and construction materials all provided, and a storage barn has been built with some seeds for fields and orchards available. So I'll keep that on medium. Town name, let's see if we can get some weird auto-generated ones. Let's try and find a decent one. Something that I can pronounce, preferably. Finleyville, sure, let's go with that. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is pause the game. It's because you might notice there's no interface up or anything. And there are a few things that you pretty much need to have open, which is here. The first one, town statistics. That's this basically. It shows you decent like the basic stats. So you got what temperature it is. You've got how many citizens you have, what time of the year it is, and then all your resources and stuff. Average health, happiness. Now the other thing we'll have open is an event log, which I generally put here. This is important. There's a lot of things that you could miss when you don't have this open. And then I'll also have this jobs window open. I'll put that down here. You can have a map open as well. I generally don't use it because it's pretty easy to work out where things are, I think. So you don't really need the map open. So that's good for now. As you see, we got our storage barn here, which has food and clothes and stuff for the people. 1,800 potatoes. We got our stockpile here. It has the rest of the stuff, building materials and that sort of thing. And we have all of our people here. So, let's have a quick look at the map. You see, this is a small map. It's a decent size. There's plenty of room to expand and move around. It's not the greatest starting position, really. It's kind of, yeah. It would have been better over here or something like that. You got stone, wood, there's probably some iron around there somewhere as well. But you work with what you've got. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll clear away all these trees and stuff. So let's play the game, put it back in play. Let's go removal and destruction tools to remove resources. And now these guys will collect anything that's in that area. And it's early spring and it's snowing. Yeah, so we've got 10 labourers at the moment. There's no... Once I start building things, I'll make a couple of them into builders and all that sort of thing, but... maybe I should do that now, actually. Let's make 2 builders, and we'll place a few houses down. And I think we'll have them in a couple of rows, just like that. So press R to rotate them. You can press F to change the style. Okay, one like that, one like that, and maybe I'll put the other one here. I'll leave a bit of a gap between them. Yep. There we go, first 4 houses. So it'll take a bit of resources to build, but that'll be good. And then the most important thing after housing is food production. I mean, it is so easy to run out of food in this game. The first game I played, I left it a little bit late to build the farms and everything, and everybody starved to death. So it's an unforgiving game when it comes to that sort of thing. Get some deer here, so can do something about that later. But for now, I think we'll put a field right around here. Crop field, there we go. So I'll make this 10 by 10. It seems to be a decent size. There we go. And these guys are bringing back all the resources that they've ghost collected. So it's not the fastest paced game. You can accelerate the time down here. I'll leave it at 1 times for the time being, and then I'll increase it a bit later as things start happening, or not happening, as it were. Let's zoom in on our people. Who have we got? Gertrude, a 19-year-old labourer. Cool. I'm gonna have to turn down the game volume. I think I can barely hear myself talk. Audio. Let's see, we'll turn down the effects down to there. Ambient down to there. You can see I've got the music volume turned way down, and I can still hear it. So the sound options are a little bit odd, I guess, but whatever. Let's do it like that. That's a bit better. Alright. So I think I'll have to make a few more of these guys builders. I see it recommends that we have 10 to do all of this. Let's make it 5. There's plenty of people still collecting resources, but these houses will get built. The farm doesn't actually need very much to be built, it just needs this stuff to be cleared out of the way. But the houses, they need logs delivered to them, stone delivered to them, and then the builders can actually build them. But you see we got plenty of logs and stone there. And we're getting more over here. So there's no skill trees or unlockables or anything like that in this game. You can build anything from straight away if you've got the resources for it. You can build bridges over the river and everything, or tunnel through mountains if you need to. Different options for storage and stuff, so you can build another barn if you need to, or stockpiles. The market, which I guess if you have like a really distributed town, like say you got people over here, whatever, and your food generation is over here, you might put the market up here or something like that so people can get to it. And there's also the trading post, because what happens is every now and then merchants will come sailing down the river and they can dock at your trading post, and you can get, like, say you wanted some sheep or whatever for your pasture and you don't have sheep, I think you can buy them from the merchant and then you can grow sheep. So town services, you can build a well, which is for putting out fires. Apparently, I've never seen a fire in this game. I mean, I haven't played that much of it, but I've never seen a fire. I guess they're not that common, but yeah. So you have a well. It's not a lot of resources to make. A schoolhouse to educate people so they're more productive. A hospital to heal disease. Town hall to record and show census data. A chapel for people to be happy, I guess. And a cemetery, so that people don't become as sad. I don't know, I haven't actually put a cemetery down before. I don't know if it's only when people die of old death, or just when they, like, of old age, or of anybody who dies. Because if you don't have enough food going into winter, a lot of people die. You got all your food production options, the crop field like this. You get an orchard which grows like apple trees and that sort of thing. Pasture for animals. Fishing docks that goes on the river, a hunting cabin, so put that like here, and they'd hunt these deer and all that sort of thing, and a gatherer's hut which collects roots and berries. What else we got? Resource production, a woodcutter. These guys take logs and they chop them up into firewood, firewood being used during winter. although you'd probably be using it now as well. It's only 8 degrees outside. That's not exactly warm. 8 degrees Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit. Forester Lodge, they... Basically, I mean, cutting down trees like this isn't renewable, I guess. Whereas this what is it? Forester Lodge, yeah. This is renewable, so they will plant new trees at the same time they're cutting them down, which is good. The herbalist, they get herbs from around the trees, because I don't know if we actually see any of them, but sometimes you'll see like mushrooms or whatever growing underneath trees. Maybe that's some. So the herbalist gathers all that and they make medicine, which helps people be healthy. There's a blacksmith who creates the tools, because each citizen uses tools, and when the tools break they become less efficient, basically. You can also use them as trade goods. The tailor makes warm clothes, which is these. So that as people are born and everything, these clothes are used up, and that you need warm clothes for winter. You can make a tavern which brews alcohol, makes people happy. A mine. So these are pretty big, so you put that in the ground and they'll get coal and stuff out of that. And a quarry, which they'll get stone out of the ground, rather than just collecting it from these rocks, for example. And then you get your options here, which is just to manually select areas to drag to collect resources from, or remove roads, sort of thing. So yeah, there's a fair few options to do. It's it takes a little bit to get started, but see, these guys are collecting stuff now. These houses, we've got 2 houses built. This one's got a lot of people in it. And these ones are being built. This is Skyland, the 17-year-old builder, and that is El Dorathi, also a 17-year-old builder. She's a woman, female builder. Gertrum. Yep. So everybody has their own little name. It's a 13-year-old labourer. We don't really have child labour laws in whatever this place is called. I can't see it because my DX story overlay is right on top of the name, and I've already forgotten the name. Fiddly D or something like that. Alright, so our field is done. So we can select what we want to grow, potatoes or squash. I'm going to go with potatoes because I don't like squash. Let's put a couple of farmers working on it. And this doesn't like it's. So you see, we've got the seasons. We've got the standard seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter. They will only plant seeds in early spring, and then they'll harvest them at around summertime. So you have to have your food ready for winter, basically. So all these buildings are built. We've got a farm here. I don't think they're actually going to start. No, I didn't think they'd start using that yet. Let's make a woodcutter, I think, which is this one. Yep. Where shall we put it? We'll put it near this stockpile. So right around there. That seems good. And how are we doing for resources? We could probably get a bit more stone. Where's some stone? There's plenty over here. Maybe we should build a bridge and come over here rather than going up into this direction. And it's a good bit of resources to build a bridge, but I'm going to have to make it sooner or later. So there's a... That's right, you can't really do diagonals. So that's a long ass bridge. 76 logs and 19. Trying to do the shortest one I can. Oh, whatever. We'll do it there. So the builders can start working on that now, once this is complete. And how are we doing? So we've still got plenty of logs. Once this woodcutter is up and running, those logs will rapidly decrease. But there's plenty of wood around the area. I think we should probably make a fishing dock as well, so that... because they will keep producing food throughout the winter, as opposed to relying on the stockpile of potatoes or whatever it is that we've got. So fishing dock, 30 wood and 16 stone. See if there's a good area to place it. Yeah, we can put it right there. That's good. So we can assign somebody to be a woodcutter. There we go. Who's that going to be? Hallen, the 14-year-old woodcutter. Cool. It's late spring now, starting to warm up a little bit. We've got 10 adults and 7 children. The children will eventually grow up. I think once they're 10 years old, I think they're considered to be an adult. But I think it doesn't, so you don't actually have to wait for 10 complete years, like, or 40 seasons, I guess. I don't know why I'd say it like that. But I think each season counts as being a year when it comes to these guys growing up. So that's rather than it being 4 seasons counting as a year. So that makes it a little bit faster. Who is our youngest kid at the moment? 9, so Lynetta. She'll probably grow up to be pretty soon. So yeah. 17 and 14, let's just ignore that. It's the age of consent here or something, I guess. Let's just not think about it too much. It's medieval times after all. They did things differently back then. So it looks like this field has actually been planted. I wasn't sure if they were going to or not, given the time I built the field, but that's good. Hopefully by summer they'll actually be able to get a bit out of it. So we're starting to run low on wood and stone. We do have 2 labourers who can get that stuff for us. Just got to work out where to get it from. Maybe over here. So let's just remove these resources. Let's get all of it. I'll clear out a bit more room to build. So this bridge is coming along. It's got all the resources delivered to it, but it just needs a builder to actually get off their ass and do something. There's still 4 homeless people as well, so we should build another home. So let's do that. Put it right here. And we can build roads as well. And people travel faster walking along the road. I'm not going to do it now, but I will do it at some point. So you can see the color difference between these types of rocks. This is actually iron, these dark ones, I think, and the lighter colored ones is stone. So you don't need to build the mine to get iron, you can collect it from above ground, which is useful. It's not that important at this early stage of the game, but once you start running out of tools it becomes a lot more important. Because you need, you can build a blacksmith and they will, where's the blacksmith? There it is. You can build a blacksmith and they use wood and iron to create iron tools. Or if you have coal they can create steel tools which will last a bit longer. See, our fishing dock is rapidly being built thanks to these 2 guys. Norwoodson and Gertram. Cool. And the bridge is taking shape as well. From Jalin, I don't know. Whatever. So that's all coming along pretty well. And once this is built, not sure what I'll build over here. I mean obviously we'll collect this stone and iron and a bit of wood and stuff. I might put a forester's building up around here. I don't know. I'll have to create another farm over here as well, so that we can, so that for next spring we can plant over there and get a bunch of food. And let's get, we've only got 2 labourers left, Let's get those two become fishermen, and we'll get one of our builders to become a fisherman as well. That's good. This house isn't coming up particularly quickly, but they are carrying resources over to it. So that's good. The bridge is almost done. A little bit more. Come on. Come on. There it is. Cool. Alright, so there's our bridge, which gives us access to all this entire area over here. I don't actually know if you need a bridge to get across this section, like this little, I don't know what you call it, tributary or something. I don't know. But we'll deal with that when it comes to it. We've just unlocked this whole area, so that's good. And obviously we've got all of this area to work with as well. These deer are just swimming through this lake. Okay. And hopefully this house will come up a bit faster now that it's now that's been built, but they seem to be taking their sweet time.